Hey guys, we'll give it a couple more minutes actually, and then we will go ahead and get started. So thanks for hopping on. All right. Hey guys, good afternoon. Thanks for joining me on this kind of chilly March afternoon. Glad you all are with me. And today's topic is going to be um, how to use video in your business without needing to be on camera. And based on the fact that no one is on camera today, this class is for you. So, before I launch into this, I wanted to review two other things. So, I sent out an email earlier in the week mentioning that White Rock Realty is being nominated for one of the best places to work in DFW. And in my video explanation, I mentioned as well that because I had to name some home base as to where we were, I named it as being in DFW. So if you are a realtor of ours in another city or another state, you are still able to and encouraged to fill out this survey. Um, and I do need, or they need, 50% participation. So you will be getting an email on the 19th of March to fill out a survey that asks you questions about how it is to work at White Rock. So go ahead and fill that out. And if we do, and it's all categorized, we're not going to be up against, you know, offices that have 3,000 agents. It's going to be relative to our size and where we are. So, but the marketing opportunities that this will give everyone are just going to be enormous. And I think that mainly because your clients are going to want to be with an agent that works at a brokerage that can say that we are one of the top brokerages to work for in the area. So just a heads up that that will be coming. Um, the One of the other things I wanted to review with you today, before we get into the material, um, is comes from a discussion I was having on a coaching call with another agent this week, and she said, hey, I have this client that I'm working with or will be working with, and they want to go see new homes. Is there anywhere where I can look that specifically has just new home inventory? And and so my response was two things. One is that they will most likely give you a city that they want to work within. And your best bet is to Google, new construction or home builders in XYZ city. So that's because where there's one, there are many others. And as realtors, we kind of need to know where those areas are. But I know that builders are building everywhere and it's hard to keep up. So that's one way. But we actually do have a kind of a what I would call an MLS for new construction that every one of you have access to and is paying for it. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and let me, okay. Um, and I'm going to show you the dashboard of what I log into in North Texas, but I've already checked, and wherever you're calling in from, you have a similar looking dashboard. Okay, so before you log into the MLS, up come all these different icons. And the one that I uh, directed her to is right here. And it's this little kind of bluish background white house with a bunch of, sun rays coming out of it. And this is called New Home Source Professional. And when you click on that, um, up will pop first your view of all these, right? So now one caveat, large institutional builders like Lennar and D.R. Horton will likely not be in here, but everyone else will. So all the more reason to Google, hey, where are these new home builders building in XYZ city? However, let's say that we wanted to look in Katy, Texas. So this is just our view. The customer's going to get another view in a second, and that's really where the benefit comes. But if you, as the realtor, wanted to look in here, just in Katy, Texas, you could put that name in, and up would pop all of the new construction in Katy, Texas. Now, you'll notice that there's a little graphic in the lower right-hand corner of all these pictures of the home. What do they mean? Well, if it is, let me try and find one. Um, if it is a solid outline of a home, like you see here at 2515 Tompkins Reserve, this means it is already completed. If you see the home as a dotted outline, that means that the ground has not been broken whatsoever. It is just a vacant lot, and you can build this home on it if you want, but there is nothing up. And then the third um, key is if the house has diagonal slash marks through it. That means that the home is under construction. Okay? Now, here is the biggest distinction that you're going to want to clue into. If you, let's go to the new one. If you clicked onto this one, let's see. Hang on. Why can't I click onto this? Well, let's just click onto this one. Okay. So you'll notice that since this is my view as the realtor, if you look over here and you may have to move your Zoom pane, who does it suggest that you call as the realtor? The builder, right? So if you wanted more information on whether or not it was in an HOA, whether or not it was in a PID, whatever you as the realtor want to know, well, this is your number to call. Okay. So, but here is the real benefit to you as an agent in Texas. And again, you may have to move your Zoom panes. In the upper right-hand corner, and before I logged into this, you may have noticed here it says additional Netris products and partners account activation may be required. That means you may have to set up an account. And so if you've never logged into this before, you're going to have to do that. But again, it is included in whatever MLS dues you're paying. So let's go back and let's go to my profile because I've already set up an account. So I'm going to go to my account and you can kind of see here all of my information is in there. Now, what you want to grab is go to the link that says myshowingnew.com site. This is a website that was already made for you. All right, and here it is. Here's mine, www.showingnew.com/my name. And if I wanted to edit this, I could change the web address, whatever. If I wanted to connect my social media accounts, I could. But this is what you should be giving to your clients. So let me just cut and paste this, and I'll show you what the client would see. Okay, so a bit different, right? So here's all of my branding, and let's just go back into searching in, let's do Katy ISD. Everyone wants to be in a good school district. I hit something, hang on. I'll just do Katy, Texas. Okay, so this would be your client using your link that you're already paying for from newhomesourceprofessional.com. And they're in here and they're just, thrilled that they're going to get into a brand new home. They're going to click on this one, let's say. All right. And again, you may have to move your Zoom panes, but you'll notice that contact information has changed. It is not the builder, it is you. And nowhere on here will be the builder's information, and that's what you want, right? You want them to contact you. You don't want them to, you know, unbeknownst to you or them, cut you out of a deal, right? And so here's all of my information. This is already included when you set up your account. And whether or not they're your client or they get here in some other way, you're going to get an email once they fill this out that they're interested. Okay. So here is another little, so I've reviewed this before, and usually at this point I say what I would do is put that link in your email signature so that people know, it's top of mind. So as a matter of fact, I sent out an email earlier this week and got a reply from one of our realtors. And I looked a little closer at the response and noticed that she had a link in her signature for this website. So when I click on that, this is what hers looks like. Okay. So this is what it would look like in your email, right? Search for new, and you can call it whatever you'd like, but this is what she called it. And then once you click on that, it goes right to that site that I just showed you. Okay. So, so just to be clear, I mean, as a licensed realtor, you should kind of sort of know what builders are building in what areas. But again, that's a lot to manage. So by all means, Google where certain builders might be building, but this could be your best friend. right? Send them this link, have them take a look at what the homes that they might want to go see. And there's only one way to go see it, which is contact you. Okay. So your first step is to go in here and set up your account. Okay. Oh, that's sign in. Sorry. Yep. Here I am. Right. So set up your account, put in our logos and, a picture of yourself and make it look professional, just like Christy did, and have that as an extra tool. All right. So that is the closest we're going to get to an MLS for new construction. All right. Any questions on that? All right. Okay. So let's get into what I wanted to cover today, and that is, for you introverts out there or people that are hesitant to put themselves on camera. Um, no shame in that whatsoever. There are plenty of realtors out there that put out professional videos without anyone ever seeing them on camera. So there is a way to do this. So today we want to understand why video is critical in today's market. We're going to learn 6 no camera video approaches. We're going to get a couple of scripts to walk away with and a proposed posting plan. So, I mean, in case you're wondering, I mean, you do not need to be an influencer. I mean, most of us are on every social media channel there is, and it's all image driven, right? Even Facebook, and you got LinkedIn, then you have Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And so, you do not, as a realtor, need to be an influencer, right? I mean, we win when consumers get information and not some dog and pony show. All right. And so consistency and being consistent at this will build trust over time, not, some slick sales pitch. And I think that consistency also builds connection because they're going to be used to seeing you. All right. And so why does video and images versus just physical text win? Well, video builds familiarity before your first contact. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this or at some point, let alone today, is that although it has taken time, when I finally found an excuse personally as a broker to post videos on YouTube about the changes in the contract, um, it really started to create some traction. Now, this has been a year and a half, all right? So just to put everything into context, it's been a year and a half since I started doing this. Um, and I have actually gotten interest and actually agents that have joined White Rock because they've seen me first and have gotten that familiarity, and it's almost as if they already knew me before they initiated a conversation. And so the same will work for you because buyers and sellers are absolutely going online before they reach out to you, and that's just the way it is, right? And so what you want is for them to eventually reach out to you and hire you. And so I think that video in general creates or increases engagement across all of your platforms. And here's the good news. You only have to do one video and have it posted across 4 or 5 different websites, or I'm sorry, 4 or 5 different platforms, right? And so it's not like you're doing a separate video for TikTok and a separate video for Instagram and YouTube and so on. One video that becomes your currency, posted anywhere and everywhere. People, generally speaking, don't know if you know this, go to certain channels and consume videos for certain reasons. And I find that as realtors, YouTube works the best because that's where people are going to seek out some kind of authority on some subject, right? I mean, the videos that get millions of hits on YouTube are how do I change my tire on my car? How do I unclog a garbage disposal? How do I fix something? right? I mean, those are the ones that get traction. And I've mentioned this before that Google, I'm sorry, Google of course owns YouTube, and so it's a two for one benefit, right? If you're on YouTube, you're on Google and vice versa. So here is the first example that we'll go over. Voiceover property tours. So this works really well for new construction or just go and preview a home and take a video and keep you out of the picture, but you can speak over the content or the filming that you're doing and put it on social media. Now, that being said, if it is not our listing, you gotta get permission. That is a Trek rule. Okay. You also have to go one step further and look in the listing and make sure that they have okayed that you go in and record. And you kind of get pushback typically on a higher priced home where they don't want people doing that, right? So make sure you're getting permission. So add simple narration explaining the various features. Focus on buyer benefits. All right, and I'm going to tell you why this works. Because you might be sitting there thinking, well, if they already have a realtor and they're already getting listings from their realtor, or if they're not represented, what am I doing that they can't get on Zillow? And the answer is you are confirming for them that they are not missing out on any other listings, right? So the best thing that could happen is that they see your video and they say, "Why didn't my realtor send me this?" Or "Why am I just seeing this? This is exactly what I've been looking for," right? So that is the problem you're trying to solve. So the tools, man, you just need your phone camera, right? And then some kind of video editing software. Now, look, I know that the minute that I just said that, some of you, came close to vomiting. It's okay. It is not as difficult as you might think. If you don't know about Canva and how to edit video or do graphic things in Canva, I'm going to send you as a follow-up after this call a link to a tutorial on how to edit and import video in Canva. Canva is free unless you want to pay 120 bucks a year for their kind of 2.0 version. But everything that I'm going over today can be done for free. CapCut is just another video editing software. Don't make it overcomplicated. If you're going to throw your videos into Canva, just stay in Canva and edit it there. It is painfully easy, as everything is in Canva. If you're doing Instagram, you could do a Reels editor. That's cool. But again, I'm just a big fan of keeping everything in one spot. So, why this works, you're showing off your expertise and you're avoiding being on screen, right? Um, and the house that you're touring actually does all the heavy lifting, right? You're just kind of narrating. Um, Tip, stay outside the least amount of time. If you want to introduce the home and you're about to walk in, that's cool. And you're not going to be able to avoid probably a windy day here and there. But unless you have really state-of-the-art microphone equipment, you're going to get drown out, right? So just fun fact. All right, so sample script might be, hey, if you're looking for a four-bedroom home under $400,000, here's what you need to know about this home. And then you start talking about the various features and benefits. So I'm going to show you a sample. I've got a handful of these, but I needed to reshare because I need to make sure that I share my sound. Now listen, buckle up because this dude is high energy at first, right? And the video's long. I'm not going to play the whole video, but I figured for this kind of training today, it'd be best to show you examples. So here's what this person did. Let's go. Oh, hang on. Let's do it this way.
Consider when you're building
Oh,
from
hang on.
scratch.
Get ready for this.
When emergency strikes, first
I got to get
responders
past
rely on the
my
latest
ads.
technology. That's why.
Shalom, family! God bless you all. Thank y'all for tuning in for today's prop tour. And today, my friends, we are at Bum
You can kind of hear the wind blowing a little bit.
Somerset Park here in Rockwall, Texas, the newest community that just opened up. Alrighty, gonna be checking out this beautiful model home by Grand Homes.
So this is a model
Alrighty,
home.
this is an exclusive behind the scenes tour, my friends. This is the tour before the grand opening, guys. They haven't opened up the model home just yet, but I am super excited to take y'all along this beauty. Alrighty, and they do have homes starting from the high 500s in this community, from the 6s as well. Now this one in particular is the Lake Forest floor plan, one of my favorite floor plans. Have a few clients building this exact layout. So I'm gonna leave all the details to
So everything that he may have said is might be not true, but he kind of gets you excited about it, right? So I think that's
this
important.
gorgeous
So I'm
prop,
gonna
the
fast
tile
forward a little bit. He's
flooring,
gonna take you
porcelain
around.
tile, this beautiful backsplash here in the shower, you know, and little mirrors, things like that. So light fixtures is another big thing.
All right,
So
key tip, if
I
you
would
don't want to
always
be
say
on
when you're
camera, don't
building
go
from
into a
scratch,
room
the
with a
biggest
mirror.
main components that you want to put your money into is definitely the flooring, the kitchen, and the structural upgrades as well. And also the lot in the community. That is very, very important that you select a lot in the community that will have hopefully a great resale factor, such as corner lots, cul-de-sac lots, greenbelt lots, you know.
All right, so it
My
does a good
Lord,
job
look at
at
this. I mean, enjoy these amazing things that the Lord has blessed
so let me just see. Yeah, so he's got
my
his
life
own
with
channel
too through my
here.
wife's relentless prayers after
Nava
I got out of the
Realty
Marine
Group.
Corps.
Let me just shut that off. So I mean, except for the rare occasion that you can kind of see him in the mirror of the restroom, he is not on camera. And this video is 26 minutes long. That's probably too long. But you know you don't want to probably go that long. 3, 4, 5 minutes, as long as it can take you to tour a home and highlight the various features. But you know, he got 10,000 likes. So, I mean, I don't care about popularity, but but it's an indication that people are looking at this. And if you put in your bio, look at all these comments of Nava Realty Group, you know, that link to the new home source professional, or better yet, what I've taken to doing, he didn't do this at the beginning or the end, but there should be a slide with
It's up
his
to you.
information on there,
All right.
right? So and that's relatively easy to import. So that's an example of just a real basic voiceover um, home tour. Okay. The other one is a slideshow plus text. Okay. No voice required. Right? And so some example topics might be three things buyers miss in new construction. That's the title of your video. Or what $500,000 gets you in XYZ city. Hidden costs of selling. And the formula is you got to create a hook, create value, and then tell them to go do something. And that something is to call you, right? So here is an example. It's real brief. It's almost like a reel. So here's kind of what this looks like. Okay, so it's that short. All right, so to be able to add music and add text on this stuff is, believe it or not, is the easy part. What people struggle with is actually getting out there and doing the video. Okay. So there was nothing but music. There was no talking, certainly nobody on camera. And it was just enough to get you interested. Okay. Okay. Um, The next one is screen recording explainers. So this is where you would take a little bit of a deeper dive into explaining, kind of like that first gentleman did in that first video about, it's not just about the house, it's about picking the lot. Some of these examples here, you could review other MLS listings. You could explain what a MUD is, what a PID is, what the tax rates are, talk about the mortgage process. And some examples would be, here's how property taxes work in our area, right? And so the reason why this works is because it really positions you as an educator slash collaborator and not a salesperson. So this example is not the greatest example of this, but I did want to show you this. For a couple of different reasons. So that intro is in Canva, and I just did this for a video, right? So that's how easy it is to do. So here's the Millennium Group's logo. I guess they're from
Hey, what's
Austin.
going on, YouTube family? And welcome back to another home showcase video. My name is Aaron Fernandez, and I'm the CEO of Millennium Realty Group. And today I'm located on the southern outskirts of Austin, Texas. Now, this beautiful community that I'm in right now starts off in that well-desired $200,000 price range. And of course, the homes do go up from there depending on the builder, the size.
Okay, so right there, I'm hooked because everyone's shopping on price, just like when you go and buy a car, you can't pay more than a certain amount. And so these occasions where you throw out, what does $400,000 buy you in XYZ city, or anything that dispels the misperception amongst the public that you can't buy a home for less than 400,000 or less than 300,000, as he just stated, and this video was only done a year ago, um, is important because there's a lot of bad information out there.
Size of the homes and the upgrades that come with the home. Now, the stunning home that I'm standing in front of right now is a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,971 square feet with a 2-car garage, and it is a 4-side masonry home. You're going to notice the beautiful curb appeal that you get from where I'm standing right here. You're going to see the materials that the builder is using with that beautiful, bright, happy white stone that's covering the front side of the home. And then, of course, the brick behind that does cover the entirety of the home all the way to the back side. Now, keep in mind, this is a model home, so the driveway has not been installed just yet. As soon as the builder is done using this home as a model, they will take down the fence in the front and install and pave the driveway on the front of the home. Now, before we head into the home, just as a reminder to all of the viewers, my company does specialize in selling your existing home. So if you are somebody who needs to sell your home before you buy the next one, or just sell your home in general, give me a call, send me a text, or send me an email, and we would be delighted to assist you in selling your current home.
See, good job at stating what we probably think is the obvious, which is, I mean, how many people do you think that they need a separate realtor to sell their current home before they go buy this one? I'm guessing it's a high number, right? Because people don't move very often. So really good job at spelling that out, because if I were that potential customer or client, I would think, God, that's a load off. This is just kind of a one-stop shop. And the beauty of video is that if I didn't catch his name or contact information in the beginning, I can just stop it and write it down. Okay.
And with that
And
being said,
let me just go all the way to he does a tour of the home. He's never in here.
this way you'll know anytime I do a new walkthrough video. Also,
He's
please
asking you
assist us once
to
again with that
subscribe.
subscription. We do want to reach as many people as possible on YouTube in order to be able to assist them in finding their dream home. And we do want to be the first real estate company to hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Now, if you liked this house, give me a call, send me a text, or send me an email, and I would be delighted in assisting you in putting an offer on the home. Also, my company does assist with relocation services. If you are moving from outside of the city or outside of the state, give me a call, send me a text, or send me an email, and I would be delighted to assist you in making that very big move. Once again, thank you all so much for watching and supporting the channel and leaving all of your compliments in the comments. It's very much appreciated, and I'll catch all of you on the very next walkthrough.
He's so just a really nice approach and demeanor. He didn't speak fast. He had multiple calls to action in his videos, right? I didn't feel like I was being pressured. I didn't feel like I was missing out. I didn't feel like, I don't know how y'all felt, but I didn't feel like um, I had to hurry up and make a decision. It was very, here's what I have to offer. Call me if you, and he gave multiple ways to do that. Call me, email me, text me, so his whole delivery was just making it really, really easy for that end user. Okay. And he was never on camera. So there you go. Okay. Uh, the next one is B-roll plus education. So what's B-roll? B-roll in the video and movie and TV world is these kind of stock photos or videos that go in the background that aren't really they just keep repeating on a reel, right? They're not at all what we've seen so far. And this is one suggestion that I have mentioned many, many times before. These are also in the real estate world what gets the most traction. And before I move on, you may have noticed in that prior video, he had 17,000 likes. So I can't imagine he did not get at least one customer from that effort. Okay. So um, my wife and I do this all the time. If we're going to take a vacation somewhere and we don't know anything about the city, we go to YouTube and search for videos that people have done about that destination. Our oldest daughter, as a matter of fact, got a great job opportunity, is leaving the DFW area and moving to this really small town in Vermont and someplace that I had never heard of before. But lo and behold, I go onto YouTube and look up videos for this town, and sure enough, there are people on there that have plenty to say about living and visiting that area. So this is another way you can do this. So this is a really good example of one that I found.
That's it. S is for saving hundreds with Liberty Mutual.
We took an oath to protect this city, and justice doesn't run.
All right, look, if you're moving to Katy, Texas, there are definitely some things that you need to consider before you make that commitment. So today we're going to be going over the good, the bad, and the hideous side of living in Katy, Texas.
All right, so Katy is a suburb of Houston, and the title of the video is Moving to Katy, Texas, Pros and Cons, Everything You Need to Know About Living in Katy, Texas, and the year that he did this, which was last year. This is a really good title because he's included a lot in here. And why is that important? Because if the shorter it is, the less likely you are to grab what people are actually searching for. Okay, so this is a highly sought after suburb in Houston, and it's natural that people are going to want to know what it is, what it's like to move here. Wherever you live right now, fits that exact same
And I like to
description.
kick things off on the lighter side of things, so let's start off with the pros first. And pro number one is going to be all about the abundance of new construction opportunities within Katy, Texas. Now, if you want new construction here in Katy, there's absolutely no shortage of options here. I mean, you have so many different new construction communities like popping up everywhere. We have Ellison, we have Cane Island, we have Tamaron, they're all over the place. And what's really cool is it's not just in one little budget either. They offer a wide array of options for everyone in different types of stages of life. So if you're looking for first-time home buyers, they have options for you. If you're looking maybe a little bit more middle class, they have options for you as well. Maybe luxury, you can definitely find some luxury. In Cane Island, for example, they are custom luxury home builders right now, starting at $1.75 million. So if you want luxury, you can most certainly find it in a new construction community. And pro number two is going to be all about the school districts. Now, Katy ISD, I mean, I'm pretty sure so many people cover this and talk about this, but it's definitely worth noting again because Katy ISD is in fact the #1 school district within the entire Houston region. And to put this in perspective, there are 51 total districts in Houston. That's a lot of districts. Houston, Texas is just enormous. Like, for those of you who aren't really familiar with this area, it takes you an hour and a half to get from one side of Houston to the other. So
Yeah, can I get an amen on that? So Houston is the fourth largest city in the country. So what he's explaining is relevant. The other thing that just is unmistakable, you cannot miss, is his shirt says his brokerage name, as does his backdrop, right? And so he's got 1,300 subscribers, got 15 likes on this, 804 views, and he just posted this 10 months ago, right? So, really good example of, again, something that I've suggested over and over again about, getting people to see what it's like to move somewhere. Now, what I found works for me is if you give them something at the end, right? So, in other words, so what would that be? So if you do none of this, at least do this kind of video. So what are the pros and cons? What do you need to know about moving to XYZ city? Then at the end of the video, or maybe even throughout the video, just say, you got to wait till the end. I'm going to give you a free whatever, buyer's guide, or mortgage calculator, or whatever it is. And we have a ton of them on our website. That way, and you can put up a slide at the end that gives them your contact information, and all of a sudden you will be getting calls, texts, and emails. And that is a good thing. You put those names in your database, you follow up with them, and out of every 30, you will get one that will convert, right? So this does absolutely have traction. All right. The next one is you don't have to talk at all. If you want to do an AI generated video, Canva can do that for you. But if you want to get into, having actual avatars on there, meaning they look real, but they're not, they're computer generated people, you're going to have to pay for that. And I actually subscribe to a service that does that for some of my videos, and it's called Synthesia, right down here, Synthesia. And they're a couple of $100 a year. And I've really gotten value out of it for sure. But if you don't know what to create, I wasn't planning on doing this, but it is this easy. So let's just go to Canva. All right, create, and hang on. Oh, Canva AI. Sorry, here we go. Canva AI. Describe your idea and bring it to life. So you could say, create a 3-minute video for Katy, Texas, and why people should move here. All right, and you click this arrow, and it will create some version of what, and it's all ready to go. Now, it might be in a format, or it might be in a stage where you need to tweak it, but it might not. I mean, just like Google was 25 years ago, it really all depends on what you type in here. All right, the more deep, this is not detailed, but the more detailed you can be, and this is counterintuitive to what you might think, the more words you can type in here and the better description you can put in here, the better the video is going to be. Okay, so it's that easy. Oh, client testimonials. So if you have um, past clients, if this is not, your first day in real estate, and you at least have one, um, I would ask them to do a video testimonial of you. So the easiest way to do that is for you to do it, and the easiest time is on closing day. But don't let that stop you. If you have clients from a year ago, I would reach out and just say, I am increasing my video library, and I was hoping that based on the positive experience we had, that if you wouldn't mind doing a video testimonial of your experience, right? So this is an example of someone doing that. So
My name
first
is
it's her.
Dean, and I'm grateful for the opportunity I have to serve both my buyers and sellers here on the Central Coast. Buying a home is one of the biggest investments that you'll make, and I want to make the process as easy as possible and smooth. And I think part of that is being responsive to your clients and making sure that their questions are being answered, and that in the end, everybody is smiling and we've had a successful transaction.
I would say she's just fun, first of all. She's a really fun agent, and she becomes a friend. And rather than just being an agent, she takes you through the process and makes it a fun experience.
We sold a home and bought a home within 7 days, and she made the process almost stress-free. And she was just on top of everything.
I love my job. I love my clients. I love how every house is different, every client is different. And I love that challenge every day.
You found a great house for us.
I love calling buyers and telling them that they got the house of their dreams. The fact that I can be a part of that is so wonderful.
She's 100% genuine in what she does, and when it came available and when she found something that we really liked, she showed us.
In the end, we love working with April because she made the process easy. She was very knowledgeable.
And we were able to get the home that we were dreaming of.
I would say even more than just a friend, she's almost like part of the family now, going through the process with her.
I love being there for my clients and helping them every step of the way and making sure that they're taken care of.
Now it's just, if it's a house, it's April.
That's awesome. So that's why I was talking about adding a little slide at the bottom. So what strikes me about that video is that, first of all, it's not even 2 minutes long. Second of all, I think whether she intended to do this for this reason or not, I think it was a good idea that she was on there, the agent, because it's one thing for the clients to say things like she's very genuine. Because if she weren't on there and didn't present herself like that, which I do think she did come across that way, you might still be skeptical. But it was a good hybrid between what the agent wants you to hear, but what her past clients also said about her, right? And so again, she came off as very non-salesy, good demeanor, and didn't, make it seem like she was forcing anybody to work with her, right? She just kind of let her past clients be her best sales tool, right? So I liked that. All right. All right. So so those were the 6 examples. So in terms of putting this into action, And I know it says you can post 3 videos each week, one educational, one property specific video, one local or lifestyle video. I mean, even if you did one, if you're doing none right now, one is better than none. All right. And then maybe this is what you aspire to be or to do in the next couple of months. All right. And then in terms of the technology that you're going to possibly use, CapCut or Canva for editing, and then just, get on Instagram, YouTube. If you have a Google business profile, you can do it there as well. But, when you think about Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram, that's enough, right? I mean, and again, all you need to do is one video and post them everywhere, and you expose, your reach exponentially. All right, so my 7-day challenge to you is post one slideshow. So post one voiceover property tour, one educational B-roll, and you don't need to be on camera, right? And so my final thought is that you are not competing with other influencers. You are competing with the risk of being invisible. All right. And so if you start simple and you stay consistent, you're absolutely going to win. All right. And so here are a couple of bonus scripts. So for buyer education, before you buy a home in this area, here are 3 things you need to know. So who is not going to stay until the end if you start with that? Script number 2 is the hook. So if your home is worth over X, you might be sitting on more equity than you think. Before I joined this call today, I saw a pretty well-established realtor in my area that did this exact kind of video. And it really played well. I normally don't stay to the end, but I did in this case. And so agents are out there doing these kinds of things. The last one is a market update. So here's what happened in our market last month and what it means to you. So here's what I would not do, because this is meaningless. I see too many realtors get on camera or do a video and say, we have currently 175 active homes on the market right now. And they never compare that to anything. Plus, data puts people to sleep anyway. So that really doesn't mean anything. Or, we had 75 closings last month. It's like, who cares? Tell me how much money I can get for my home based on what I listed at. Tell me how long my home's going to sit before I get a contract on it. That I can comprehend, right? But a market update cannot be statistics like how many homes are currently on the market, how many homes sold. I mean, unless you're a data-driven person and you compare that to something, it's going to fall flat. Okay. All right. So if you're looking for microphones, here's a good wireless option. Under 25 bucks, you get 2 of them. You can plug this little wireless receiver into your phone, and it'll cut down on your on the wind effect on your voiceover, and it'll sound like you're doing a podcast, right? It'll, you know what that sounds like, right? So if you do nothing else to help your business, at least spend the 25 bucks, get a decent microphone, so that your voice sounds professional. All right. All right. Well, that was it. Any questions? Any input?
Hey, Brad. So you're saying put these on YouTube, but not so much Facebook? Is that what you're saying? You use the YouTube as the source?
No, I mean, I would put them everywhere, but YouTube has a pretty big reach because it's owned by Google. And so if people are searching in Google for, realtors in XYZ city, you're more apt to come up because you have a video on YouTube. But if you have one video, I would post it everywhere.
Okay. Okay. This was pretty good. Very good information. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So here is where people get paralyzed. I know this Hopefully it inspired you. If it did, and you want to do video in your business, that's the first step. If you don't know how to go past, I just want to do this, please set up a time with me and I will walk you through exactly how to get your first video out there in uh, uh, the universe. Okay, so um, don't let what we just reviewed today paralyze you because it sounds like a good idea, but you may not be well versed in it, or you you don't know where to start. I can help you. All right. If you set up a time with me, I will promise to get your first video out within no time with you. So go ahead and so do that. And we have some CE coming up next Thursday from Allegiance. So that's coming up next week. Otherwise, stay warm and have a good rest of the week. And we'll see you next time.